Hi, everybody. I am working on blog post number 3, and I will just start with question number 1. According to the Leadership's questionnaire, I scored the highest in interpersonal skills with 23 points, but I also scored pretty similar marks in the other two categories. Administrative skills, I scored 21, and the conceptual skills, I scored 22, which was pretty interesting to me. I wasn't surprised that interpersonal skills was my number one. I typically can relate to people, and I can easily talk to people and understand them, and they can understand me, and uh, I seem to work well with a lot of people. But I was quite surprised that I scored high in all three areas. I don't know if that is a sign that maybe one day I should be a leader or what, but I never thought I wanted to be before. But maybe this is a sign that one day it's in my future that I could do it, which was pretty neat. Um, Skills described in our text that I think would be most useful if I were a manager would be planning, organizing, and coordinating. Planning because it is needed to make sure that everything gets done properly that needs to get done. It even plans for if something goes wrong. You have a backup plan and you know what needs to be done to fix it. Um, Organizing because is important because it helps manage situations. If there's not a proper structure in place, then you don't know how to adequately manage situations, conflicts, whatever it may be. And then coordinating, I think, is huge to ward off any conflicts and misunderstandings within staff members. Coordination is important so that all employees can work well together and nobody has any overlapping duties and people don't step on each other's toes and get in each other's ways. With coordination, people can be happy. I would use question number 2. I would use published literature so that you can always stay up to date on the most recent evidence-based practices, and then that information can be relayed to staff members, and then the best possible care can be provided to patients. I would mainly look at journal articles and research articles to be sure that the information I gathered was from a reliable source. Number 3, I think it is important to work with people from every single department. Patients are our number one priority and they deserve the best. So I feel as a manager, if there's an issue with a department, be it environmental services, if they don't clean a patient's room adequately enough, the patient will complain to the nurse will complain to the manager will then have to handle that situation and make sure it gets taken care of properly. Same with the lab. If a lab sample goes missing or is not ran properly and then the patient needs to be stuck again or have additional lab draws, whatever it may be, the nurse again has to report a care event, which gets brought to the nurse's or to the nurse manager's attention, and then the nurse manager has to talk to the lab and find out what happened and what we can do to prevent that from happening in the past or in the future. I just think that it's extremely important to know every department where you work. If you're in a hospital, you should work well with all the other departments, the pharmacy, lab, everything. And if you're in a clinic, the same thing. I work in an outpatient clinic where we do infusions and a lot of labs. And I work closely with my doctors and the pharmacy, with lab technicians, with X-ray, with everybody really. It's important, especially as a manager. And then number 4, I feel I would prefer a vertical structure versus a horizontal structure. I don't know if I've ever actually witnessed a horizontal structure before, but I personally like having that hierarchy and that chain of command to go through to where if there is a conflict that needs resolving that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, you have somebody else you can go up to and talk to. And in opposite of conflicts, if there is somebody that you want to praise and you don't feel like they're getting a high enough level of praise, you can also continue bringing it up the chain of command so that they get the recognition that they need. So, yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys all have a good week. Thank you.